Shalom, Kal Halayim, La Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Wahawar Chakwadash, double honors to the apostles, bishops, elders of GMS who rule well, who I learned this truth from, and salutations and blessings to you elect, starting with 144,000 on down. So this is a question I typed in Chat GPT. How many gods are worshipped in America? Pretty much it says number 3. So how many gods, if you mean distinct divine figures actively worshipped in America, the number is likely in the hundreds. If you include all mythological or symbolic gods acknowledged or respected in rituals, teachings, or altars, that number could be well into the thousands. Bottom line, there's no fixed number, but the U.S. is one of the most religiously diverse countries in the world. So many gods from many traditions are worshipped here. So pretty much, Babylon the Great, Babylon means, it's a Greek word, Babel, which means confusion. Okay? So this place is a melting pot. You know, it's an amalgamation of different gods, philosophies, all right, idols, okay? And there's many gods that are worshipped in this place, right? It's not just Wicca or Satanism. You know, there's rites of Ishtar. You know, people worship various Assyrian gods, you know, Egyptian gods, you know, the Fertile Crescent gods. As it said, it's well into the thousands. So this place is filthy, man. This place is completely bugged out. That's why there's so many demons here. You know, people are completely bugged out state of mind. Okay, this is Isaiah 19:1. The burden of Egypt. Egypt, right, in this case is referring to America. Okay, symbolically. All right, the United States of America is known as many kingdoms in the scriptures. It's known as Assyria sometimes, or Nineveh. It's known as Egypt. It's known as Sodom and Gomorrah. Okay? It's known as these things because it acquired these gods pretty much. You know, it carried on the traditions, you know, of all these idols, right? And it's played out today in America, right? It says, "Behold, the Lord Yahweh rideth upon a swift cloud, and shall come into Egypt, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence." As we just read, there's many idols. There's thousands. Okay? So, like I said, that's a reason why this place is so messed up, man. Just spiritually, bro. You know, you go on social media, and the way this man has the algorithm and the interface and how everything looks, and the celebrities, they themselves are idols. What do they call it? American Idol. Okay, you people worship these entertainers, these athletes. Okay, these musicians. You become fans of them. All right, you become fans. Which the word fan pretty much means what? The word fan goes back to the word fanatic, which a fanatic is actually an insane person, right? An insane person that can't you can't reason with, you can't give common sense to. And that's why there's a thing called celebrity worship syndrome, right? Celebrity worship syndrome is pretty much what? It's a syndrome where it's a case where you are literally you go crazy for these celebrities. You know, you see these people at concerts, they scream and they shout. Some of them pass out. They're crying. They can't control themselves. They become incontinent, right? It says, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it. Okay? And like I said, these people, man, starting with the elites on down, your rulers, they worship many idols, and there's all kinds of rites and rituals that they have to do, right? Revelation 9:20, and the rest of the men which were not killed by these plagues, yet repented not of the works of their hands, that they should now worship devils and idols of gold and silver and brass and stone and of wood, which neither can see nor hear nor walk. And these are really going into after the missiles drop. The oligarchs, man, in the bunkers, whether it be in the ocean, in mountains, okay, up in the firmament, they're still gonna be doing their madness, man. Right? A former George Bush administrative worker came out and said there's a $21 trillion underground city or cities, pretty much. And that's why I remember during 2012, 13, 14, around those times, maybe even 2011, you would have videos come out, okay, of people just they wake up in the middle of the night and they just hear booms, huge bangs, and it sounds like it's coming from under the earth because these motherfuckers are digging in the earth, okay, building these cities, man. And what do you think they're doing too? They're trafficking, doing all kinds of wickedness there, man. Okay, doing their rituals, and they're setting up that escape, that refuge that they think they're gonna have from Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai. Okay, but best believe when it's time for them to evacuate, when it's time for them to go in there, okay, they have their idols in there. They're gonna be worshiping, as it says right here, neither verse 21. Neither repented they of their murders, nor of their sorceries, nor of their fornication, nor of their thefts. Okay, and this whole Babylon the Great is a nasty motherfucker. That, hey man, let me get this. Yeah, this is Revelation 17:1. And there came one of the seven angels which had the seven vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, Come hither, I will show unto thee the great I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, right? Which is what? These nations, they open their legs, spiritually, what's the word? Symbolically, okay? Just like when the Saudis, they had the woman flinging the hair when Trump came, and fighter jets and trumpets and all this shit, right? They're saying, hey, thank you, come in unto us. That's fornication. Okay, you're ready to lay with the whore, America, Babylon the Great. Okay, accept her goodies, do business with them, but you're also adopting the mindset, that Western degenerate mindset, the philosophies, man. Okay, it says, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication, right? And that wine is going into what? Her philosophies, man, them idols. Okay, when you nations come to America, all right, your children, they go to school, they come back, and they're telling you, oh, we got to set up for Halloween, we got to do Easter, we got to do Christmas. Some of y'all might hold back a bit, a season, a year, 2 years, but hey, your child's in the public school system, okay? And now you got a damn phallic symbol in the form of a tree in your damn house with lights on, you know? So you're partaking of the fornication of her wrath. And not that you weren't in fornication anyway. If you're Elamite or Ishmaelite or Moabite, you have your own gods anyway, right? But you start to again fornicate with the whore. Okay, let me just get this going into wine. Hosea 4:11. I'll start at 10. For they shall eat and not have enough, they shall commit whoredom and shall not increase, because they have left off to take heed to the Lord Yahweh. Whoredom and wine, and new wine, take away the heart. See, so it's not talking about wine. Wine doesn't take away the mind. It doesn't, when you drink, it takes away, your judgment and prudence, but it's not talking about that. Okay, it's talking about your mind towards the Lord. NLT says they will eat and still be hungry. They will play the prostitute and gain nothing from it. For they have deserted the Lord Yahweh to worship other gods. Wine has robbed my people of their understanding. See? So anyway, I hope you're edified with that. Just going into the fact that, man, there's thousands of gods in this place. So that means there's millions of spirits. There's all kinds of spirits, filthy, seducing spirits in America. All right, Shalom.